If you are a YouTuber or just starting YouTube in general and you need some graphics, thumbnails, banners, logos, all that jazz, if you need anything and don't know how to do it, make sure to hit me up on Twitter. I do them for cheap, and I hope to see you guys all in my DMs as I'm trying to get into GFX. And welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing something a little different here on the 2K simulation screen. We're going to be talking about if the Boston Celtics made enough moves this offseason to compete with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So right now, obviously, they have Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward, which is a pretty nice duo right there, but is it enough? Is it enough to beat LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers? They're going to have to deal with them for at least one season. We don't know where LeBron is going after this or if he goes anywhere at all, but we know they have to deal with LeBron for at least one season. That's it. But we got to check out this rotation. I'm going to be talking about the rotation a little bit for the Boston Celtics. So I think there's still moves to be made when it comes to the Boston Celtics. I mean, they could obviously do a lineup like this. Play Jason Tatum at shooting guard, or Gordon Hayward at shooting guard for that matter. And then Marcus Smart could play power forward, and Al Horford could play center still. But they just have a lot of the same positions. Obviously, they have 4 small forwards on their roster. Not a problem. A lot of these guys can play different positions. Like I said, they could easily run a rotation like this, and that would be fine. But the bench, according to 2K, isn't looking that great. I mean, it's not terrible either. But I think they should definitely make at least one more solid move. I think this roster isn't completely ready yet. They could use another guy off the bench. I mean, Marcus Smart is cool and all, and he can be good. Jaylen Brown should be good in his 3rd year, I think, in the league. Is it his 3rd or 2nd year? 3rd year, I think. I don't know. I can't be sure. Terry Rozier, I'm not sure. I don't really know much about Terry Rozier, but I've heard good things about him, I believe. And then a lot of people are saying Aaron Baines is the GOAT, so I think that's a nice pickup for them and all. But I think the Celtics could use a little bit more assets. I just feel like they could. I mean, they did trade away that Nets pick, which is fine. They got Kyrie Irving. I still think the Celtics gave up kind of a lot, but I can't blame them. They did get a very nice point guard in Kyrie Irving, who is really good. One of the top 5, top 6 point guards in the league. So you could argue that it's just based off your preference. You can name you could name 7 point guards that deserve to be in top 5, maybe even 8. This is a point guard heavy league. So this was definitely a great pickup for the Celtics. But I'm going to go ahead and start simulating, kind of give my analysis, my opinion on what the Celtics might be able to do this season. So I definitely think the Celtics are definitely a competitor in the East. Obviously, there's no reason they're not. There's no reason they can't compete with the Cavs. But is it enough to beat them in a 7-game series? That is yet to be seen. We will see these two teams go at each other opening night, which should be a lot of fun. We're not sure if this is going to be the final roster or not. I feel like the Celtics could have a little more moves in their back pocket. I mean, the Anthony Davis trade is still out there. Will that ever happen? I don't know. Maybe with that Nets pick anymore, it can't happen. I mean, I think the Pelicans would have been not really. I don't know if they would have been tempted at all with that pick, but you just never know, I guess. And honestly, right now we're doing pretty bad on the 2K simulation, but I kind of expected that. 2K does not like me on this game, so whenever I simulate a team, I'm most likely not going to make the playoffs. But when you have a leader like Kyrie Irving and you have Gordon Hayward next to him, I think this should be a very, very nice team. Obviously, I mean, there's no reason why this team couldn't be nice. They have Jaylen Brown, they have Jason Tatum, who's supposed to be really good. I'm very excited for this Boston Celtics team. This season is going to be very awesome. Now, I think that one thing that separates the Celtics and the Cavaliers is depth. It used to be the Celtics did have a lot of depth, and they still do kind of in certain positions, but in other positions they're lacking. They don't even have a decent shooting guard on the locker anymore. Not on the locker, on the rotation. I don't know why I just said locker. That is very weird. But anyway, they just don't have a single shooting guard on their roster right now. A decent shooting guard, if that. I mean, are they planning on starting Marcus Smart with Kyrie Irving, or are they just planning on starting Jason Tatum at shooting guard, which would be fine too, or Gordon Hayward at shooting guard? I don't know what their plan is, but they really don't have a shooting guard on the roster, a natural shooting guard anyway. And I just feel like there is still moves to be made, and I definitely can see them coming. Danny Ainge is a good GM in my opinion. I don't feel like he sucks at all. I know a lot of Celtics fans are probably pissed about Isaiah Thomas being traded, and I definitely understand he gave up a lot for this franchise. He played the day after his sister died. I cannot respect that. So there's no way I couldn't respect that in any words or any more than I possibly can, because that takes some I can't even talk. I just respect it so much, honestly, that he was able to do that. I was kind of lost for words to even explain how much I respect it. But anyway, like, just the Celtics, I think what separates them from the Cavs is depth, because they just don't have a lot of depth at certain positions. They have 4 small forwards and all. Obviously, those guys can play different positions, but the Cavaliers are just looking like depth mania almost. Like, they have 8, like, according to 2K, they have like 80s off the bench. They have Derrick Rose off the bench. They have Jay Crowder off the bench. Just, that's gonna be a nice bench if they decide to really start. And Dwayne Wade is still expected to come to that roster. A lot of people are expecting Dwayne Wade to be bought out. Obviously, we didn't win Rookie of the Year. A lot of people have been mad at the moves Danny Ainge is making. He traded Markelle Fultz, or he basically traded Markelle Fultz, which I think would have been a great pickup. Honestly, I think it would have been better, because, I mean, he was going to trade Isaiah Thomas, so he might as well have gotten Markelle Fultz. Don't you think? Maybe. Like, Markelle Fultz could play shooting guard, Kyrie Irving, or shooting guard. I don't know. Maybe looking back at it, maybe the Celtics should have traded for Markelle, or shouldn't have traded that pick for Markelle Fultz. Really, they got Jason Tatum and more picks out of it, I guess. But I don't know, man. Danny Ainge, I feel like he knows what he's doing, but I think he does make some suspect moves that piss a lot of Celtics fans off, or just make Celtics fans question what he's doing. But I think as a Celtics fan, you should trust him. Obviously, he's making this franchise a lot better. When I look at player stats, Gordon Hayward, yeah, just kind of a terrible stat line. This was one of the bad simulations on 2K. You know, you can get those essentially. This team, no reason they shouldn't make the playoffs next year. Obviously, on 2K, they look bad, but that's not the case at all. They're definitely going to make the playoffs next year. So I was going to kind of sit in this playoff screen and just talk about what I think is going to happen next year. So I think the Celtics are going to be borderline. They're going to be a top 3 seed. I feel like they're definitely going to be a top 3 seed. There's still teams in the East that can definitely beat them out for seeding, I guess. There's the Bucks that are going to be a threat. There's the Wizards going to be a threat. Hell, the 76ers could possibly be a threat. We have no idea what's going to happen there with their health. The Raptors are still there. You know, they're probably one of the most slept. Why do the Bulls make it? Like, come on, man. 2K, throw me a bone. You got the Chicago Bulls making it. Anyway, like, yeah, the Raptors are still a threat, even though people don't really see that, because the Raptors are kind of a quiet team, didn't make many moves. I've said that time and time again. The Pacers don't look too bad. Miami's going to be a threat. I think the Knicks will be a threat. No, I'm just kidding. The Hawks will probably suck this year. Maybe they won't. I don't know, but the East is looking a little bad this year. But I think if you're the Celtics, you only have to worry about probably 4 to 5 teams. If that. I mean, the 76ers, you don't know how good they're going to be. We don't know. A lot of people are expecting good things out of them, but we just don't know yet. The Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, should be really good. The Cavaliers, obviously LeBron James is there, so that's your threat. That's your number one threat right there. When you look at the roster of the Cavaliers, just let me get there. Like, I'm not even getting there yet. Just absolutely insane. LeBron James, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Love, Derrick Rose, Jay Crowder, Tristan Thompson, Kyle Korver, Channing Frye, Kent Bazemore, Richard Jefferson. That is a lot of depth, and a lot of people are saying a rumor that the Cavs might trade for DeMarcus Cousins, which would absolutely be even more insane. What a starting 5 that would be. Tristan Thompson, Jay Crowder, and Derrick Rose would all be coming off the bench. Just crazy stuff, man. And I just can't wait for this NBA season. I think the Celtics have a shot. I think they do. My final thing is, I think the Celtics do have a chance. Depends how Kyrie Irving does in his new role. He will be the number one guy there. I mean, I guess he'll share some number one spotlight with Gordon Hayward a little bit, because Gordon Hayward used to be a number one guy. But I feel like Kyrie Irving is your true number one guy there. Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving should be a nice dynamic duo. They're all both. Gordon Hayward seems like he's starting to enter his prime. Kyrie Irving's still a little bit outside of that. Obviously, I mean, like, his top prime, you know what I mean? And obviously he's in his prime right now because he's doing great, but his top prime, just awesome stuff by the Celtics. Kyrie Irving is a great story on the Celtics, and crazy trade, the best trade of the offseason, one of the most pettiest trades as well, as the Cavs held out for a second-round pick. I just can't wait for this NBA season, guys. I think the Celtics do have a chance, But to give them a better chance, I think they still need to make some moves. I feel like they do. They need to get some more depth. I feel like at different positions, they have plenty of small forwards. Like I said, I'll repeat it again because I know one time I did a video and I was like, the Celtics have 5 small forwards and they're not going to be able to do whatever. Like, they can all play different positions and that's fine. But I just would feel more comfortable if they had natural positions, like natural shooting guards. But other than that, guys, I think that's it for me, guys. Leave a like if you did enjoy and let me know what you guys think. Do the Celtics have a chance? This Crush Bulls. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'm saying peace.